The sun is going down, and on a film shoot, that's when things get critical and testy. People are stressing out. I got 50 crew waiting in the wings. Every minute costs my production thousands of dollars that we go over. I have a video village of clients on Zoom, all watching, all waiting, anxiously. We've got one shot left to get. It's a pretty dangerous stunt. We can only do it one time. Everybody's waiting for us to call action, but here we are in this critical moment, scrutinizing and having a conversation about what's legitimate and what's credible in skateboarding. See, we're only making a commercial, but the details are like everything to me. I've been hired because I understand culture and I know how to represent it. I don't want to do anything lame, because when you guys see it, I want it to feel authentic. That means everything to me. This is a quote that I grew up with on my living room wall. Later, it would guide me and my company. Being insincere is the most exhausting thing in life. So let's talk about authenticity today. And if you can't tell already, this presentation is modeled after the designer Virgil Abloh, super inspired by him. So the following are some nuggets that I want to pay forward to you guys. Hopefully they can help you. Virgil calls his cheat codes, my story is so much simpler. So authenticity, popular culture loves this term authenticity. I cringe sometimes when I hear it, but yet I built a company around it. So let me tell you a little bit about me and my company and how authenticity has been core to the work that I've done and to my core self. You see, as a high school student, I craved real experience. And I wanted films and the imagery and the media I consumed on VHS then to have the same thing. There was no reality TV, so there was this disconnect between what we saw out there and the films and the media we could get. Now, I'm not a fan of reality TV, by the way. But from an early age, my friends and I were cautious of people and brands that faked it. I founded a creative studio called Farm League in Venice, California. We specialize in making documentaries, brand content, and ads. It's like different things. But my goal is to be authentic in all we do. My amazing team of creatives, producers, directors, production people, all want to make you feel something. Our goal is to inspire you. Okay, so here's a little sizzle that SNL's Leslie Jones did unprompted on her own social media, and it's a little bit about a commercial that we made and my company, Farm League. Hit it, Addie.
I was just talking about commercials, and then this came on. O-M goodness. Awards. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is a great commercial. Great commercial.
I'll pay on me, so
I'll take a flat white.
So making authenticity, what does it mean to be authentic in life, at work, in social media? How do you create a company that strives to be authentic in all you do? And then how do you tap into it for a moment for a photograph or a film? It's actually a really hard thing to do. When I was your age, I wanted to know what it was like. I just wanted to know it was okay to be me and all the weirdness and things that came with that. And what I found is that ultimately trust and authenticity go hand in hand. They're the most valuable currency to any relationship that you have, work, personal life, and beyond. So I would say absolutely it's okay to be you and who you are. Find that and channel that forward. We all know that some people put on a face for social media and another face for real life. Some companies do the same. They greenwash, they co-opt movements. They have no real connection to them, but they want to associate with them. Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not. Young people like you want to know what's behind the curtain. Our age calls for transparency, even demands it. We're finally celebrating people who are putting themselves out there. That's really what I'm into at the end of the day. I'm going to read you a couple stats that I thought are interesting. For Gen Z, brand authenticity matters more, even more than anything right now. 67 million of you, and studies show that your behaviors revolve greatly around your search for the truth. That gives me incredible optimism about the future. You want more from your brands. A key industry study showed that 64% of today's consumers are belief-driven. That's pretty incredible. They think that brands can be a powerful force for change, and they want to support the ones that are willing to take a stand. But you guys already know this. You're part of this generation, and this generation holds the keys. So this is my quick story approach to developing a career in authenticity in 3 acts. Here we go. First, go to where it's happening. Immerse yourself into it. Ideally not virtually. Try to be there. But if virtual is the only way to do it, then do it that way. Surround yourself in it. For me, that was Los Angeles. Moving to LA, it wasn't the land of La La Land and Hollywood and that sort of stuff. I found quite the opposite. Creative people, driven people, trying to make interesting work, trying to build things. At an early age, I found some incredibly generous people who believed in me and gave me opportunities. Knock on doors, sleep on couches. I slept on a lot of couches to learn the craft of producing. Producing meant waking up early, problem solving in real time, knocking on a lot of doors, asking a lot of really dumb questions, and you'd find that for the most part, people are okay to answer those. I was quickly traveling and meeting the bands that I was buying CDs for, which was so fun for me. Bands like the White Stripes, Cypress Hill, Blink-182, Pharrell even, Metallica, Green Day from the Bay. I was having a blast, but I wasn't really making a living. And then I was introduced to commercials and advertising. They're like a music video, is told, with just a little more meetings. Well, it turns out a lot more meetings, but I ventured reluctantly into advertising, and I tried to bring the same passion and filters to that work. To me and my band of filmmaking friends, authenticity and our passion to merge those things together was everything. So I would say to meet your heroes. Virgil Abloh again said to question your mentors. You'd be surprised who's willing to give you time if you just ask for it. Who's willing to teach? I was able to meet some of my mentors, and I'm so grateful for that. Yvonne Chouinard. Well, one thing I'll say about my mentors that I learned was they're very much like everybody else, right? They do a little bit of what I call horse trading, one thing to do something else, to do their goal, what they're driven to, and to get, to move the needle in their life. Yvonne Chouinard from Patagonia, he sells consumer goods, yes. But his pledge to do unnecessary harm, and their standards are so high. They donate so much money to environmental causes, it's pretty incredible. I got to meet Yvonne and make a film with him. Music producer Rick Rubin. Now, I'm so blown away at the spectrums of work that Rick Rubin can do, all the way from pop to hardcore, hip-hop and beyond. He works with Jay-Z, and he works with like Ed Sheeran. I got to meet Rick and watch him work. He was incredibly generous and collaborative. He knew where he wanted, he knew where he was going, but that was incredible. I have contemporary heroes as well, great directors and crew that I've worked with, even the ones that I work with every day at my company, Farm League. So I'd ask, who are your heroes? If I was able to meet mine, I know you can meet yours. Make it happen. Reach out. Commit and figure it out later. This is another quote by Yvonne Chouinard that's guided me. I had the opportunity with a director friend of mine to make a film called 180 South that I'm incredibly proud of. We went to Patagonia on a trip of discovery, and Yvonne talked about his life's work in conservation and his renegade process. He was not a schooled businessman. He talked about this process of committing first and figuring it out later, and this mindset felt so crazy to me. It was like, what? Commit first? Don't you got to figure it all out first? Just commit. And this has really guided me. Go with your gut. Go with you know it to be right. And then work through the problems. Merge work and life. I found that when I did something, I got excited. I got committed to it. I needed to live it. And when I told people about it, they in turn got excited. And it brought more opportunities. There was this incredible ripple effect. And when I merged my friends and my crew, my friends became my crew, my colleagues, some of them even my clients. It's a pretty incredible thing. I look around the room today and I would ask, like, would you start a business with any of your friends? With any of your teachers, maybe? I don't know, but it's a pretty incredible thing to do. Win for them, win for you. This is something we talk a lot about as well. There are a lot of parts at play here. Like for me, how do you service the story first? And then in advertising, how do you keep the client happy? And how do you get the creative that you want out of it? I always respected how Virgil Abloh, again, worked with brands like IKEA and Louis Vuitton. I thought that was so incredible to do both. He brought his process and his values to both those things. So I'd say no matter what you do, stay sincere to yourself and try to service the larger idea. Fight for good creative. Bring your best every time because you never know which one's going to pop. And what I learned is sometimes you're winning for them and sometimes you're winning for you. And then there's magic and it's win-win. Wins for me were progress. It was moving forward. It was doing what I wanted to do in life and expressing myself. Sometimes wins are easy to see. It's like taking home a Grammy, spending 2 weeks on the road with bands like Mumford & Sons, traveling through the Southwest with artists on a train. It was an incredible experience, maybe one of the most incredible experiences of my life, and I'm so grateful for that. Sometimes wins come from grinding out calls. Lots of deck changes, emails, tireless work that you're not super psyched about. A 15-second ad can take us months and months of grinding work. And then every once in a while, you get to make a short film or a piece like this excerpt. This, for me, is win-win, and I wanted to show you this.
Traditional African European stuff is always there in the background and it's calling for you. African contribution to the world. For art, music, for culture, so big.
That's a film called Wax and Gold that we made that I'm so proud of. And that piece represents so much of our mission together as filmmakers. It was for a brand that wanted to do something artful to celebrate the country of Ethiopia and the people that had given them so much, a coffee company. And I thought that was an incredible thing to do. And it's a great piece I can share with you all. So I look around the room and I wonder what you guys could make, because I know it can be even better and greater. And I would challenge you to do that. It's in you. Just keep going. Whatever comes, don't stop. Another quote by Phil Knight, Nike CEO. So when you get to that place that you think you can't go any further, you hit a rut, just put your head down and go a little further. I found that those breakthroughs just take a little longer than you want. Be patient. Keep at it. Staying with it has been a blessing for me, especially through this pandemic. Overcome that obstacle. Whatever that is for you, name it first, identify it, look at it, and say, I'm going to overcome that. I didn't get the studio job I wanted. I didn't get into film school, but I'm most proud of how I've built a company of like a band of unexpected outsiders, brought them into this business, and we've thrived. We have an international name. We work with major global companies, and we've done it through a different process, through respect, through listening, through honesty and integrity. We're not perfect. We've made a lot of mainstream ads, ones that you guys have skipped on your YouTube pre-rolls for sure. But we're trying to be a force for good. And we might be looking for interns. Anyway, so Mountain View High School, Spartans, right? Go make something inspiring. Use authenticity to guide you, I would encourage you. This is my story, but I bet yours can be so much greater. Thank you. And send us your thoughts here. I'm curious to see what you think. And Amelia Kopp, thank you for having me.